So today is Monday the 31st, but this article is from Saturday, March the 29th, 2 days ago. The headline reads, I have had 10 COVID jabs. Do I really need yet another? Top virologists reveal whether it's time to give up on the injections for good or keep going forever. Okay, so let's look at some of the vocabulary in this very first headline. Firstly, top virologists reveal whether it's time to give up on. When you give up on somebody or give up on something, you expect that person or that thing to fail. You expect it not to work, not to have the desired effect. And so the person who wrote this article is asking the question, is it time to stop expecting some kind of good results from the COVID jabs, or should we carry on to 20 jabs, 30 jabs, 50 jabs, 100 jabs? A jab every day keeps the doctor away, something like that. Okay, let's have a look. 5 years after the first lockdown, millions will be offered yet another COVID vaccine just months after the most recent round of vaccines. So we use this round, it's from boxing really, you get first round, second round, third round, and of course every time a new batch of vaccines are offered to people, we can call that a new round of vaccines. And obviously there have been many rounds of vaccines and many people have had yet another COVID vaccine. Okay, and so remember this yet another as well. Yet can mean already. You know, when it's at the end of a sentence in a negative or a question, have you done your homework yet? Or I haven't finished the project yet. Then it means already. But here, yet another, when it's before another, yet another, it means, it makes it even stronger. It adds emphasis. It means even one more, even though I've had loads, one more vaccine, even though I've already had 10. And so that's what yet another means. It's making it even stronger. Millions will be offered another COVID vaccine, yet another, even though they've already had loads. So bookings for Spring Booster opened last week, and about 7.5 million people in England aged 75 and over living in care homes or with conditions that weaken the immune system are eligible. And eligible means that they are on the list of people who will be offered yet another COVID vaccine. NHS figures show that, on average, more than 1,000 hospital beds a day were taken up. Now, we use this take up space and take up time, meaning occupy space or occupy time. And so you might say, my sofa takes up a lot of space in the shed, or you might say, my job takes up a lot of my free time if you've got lots and lots of overtime, lots and lots of hours. But 1,000 hospital beds a day were taken up by COVID patients, and I suppose that means patients with COVID who have been shown via some kind of weird test to have COVID, with cases rising 15% and deaths 20% over the past week. It's not clear what kind of deaths, whether that means deaths of people with COVID or without COVID. It's really not clear from the way that sentence has been written. So I'm not really sure what the 15% and the 20% refer to exactly. We don't know how those statistics were collected. The jab helps reduce the risk of being hospitalized from the virus, okay? That's what they say. And experts, they're always giving you their opinion, these experts, but we don't know who they are, so they could be anybody. We don't know if it's a professor of oncology or a colorectal surgeon. We just know that it's experts. So experts claim last year's spring booster cut the number of people falling severely ill by more than 40% in those most at risk. Again, I'm not really sure how that number was arrived at, because we don't really have many details in that sentence about what exactly was done to collect that data. Notice that in prepositional phrases like at risk, usually risk is countable. There is a risk of heart attack. There's a risk of stroke. There is a risk of cancer. Yeah, most of the time risk is countable, but in a prepositional phrase like at risk, it stops being countable and it becomes uncountable. Just like a war is countable, but at war is uncountable. So do be aware that in a lot of prepositional phrases, countable nouns become uncountable. But vast numbers of those who are eligible are no longer choosing to have the vaccine. Okay, so many people are choosing not to have the vaccine, even though they are eligible. So even though they are in care homes or with conditions that weaken the immune system, many of them are saying no for some reason. Only 9.8 million people in England out of, and remember we use this out of for 9 out of 10 or 98 out of 100, yeah, and 9.8 million people out of 20 million who were invited, yeah, the estimated 20 million who are eligible, only 9.8 million turned up to have their autumn booster. Yeah, so for some reason, less than 50% of those who are eligible turned up to have yet another vaccine. And this is last autumn. This isn't this year. So I'm not sure why so few people are willing to go and get the medicine which the experts claim will help them. I don't know. You'll have to make your own mind up about that. And the number of people who are taking a medicine is called the uptake. Yeah, and the uptake, vaccine uptake has drastically reduced over the last few years for some strange reason. So the uptake among under 65s with weakened immune systems was particularly low at just 22%. So that's just 1 in 5 people who are eligible and have been sent a text by the NHS. Only 1 in 5 people are actually bothering to go and have their recommended vaccine. I can't think why. I've got no idea why. So does the jab really matter anymore? And are there any risks to having what will be for some a 10th COVID vaccine? Okay, we'll stop there for today. I hope that's been useful. Please look out for the phrasal verbs when you're reading the media. And of course, don't listen to a lot of the rubbish that they say because a lot of it is not true. I'll see you all in the next class.